Thanks for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football, coming to you live from the fabulous World of Football Man Cave, located in the center of the football world, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The purpose of this podcast is to promote the game of football in all its many forms, past, present, and future. We hope to educate, inform, and entertain you with the glorious buffet that is the world of football, while also keeping a close eye on the rich history of the game. You can find the show after it's aired live on a multitude of podcasting platforms, as well as right here on YouTube along with past shows. If you want to connect with us, just find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads. Those links will be down in the episode description. Remember to comment, like, and share this video. If you have thoughts or comments during the show, drop them into the live chat and maybe you'll see your name on screen. If you have questions and they are deemed appropriate, they'll be answered at the end of the broadcast. So without further ado, let's kick off this week's show.
Hello again, everyone. This is episode number 421 for November 25th, 2025. I'm your host, Randy Snow. On this week's show, the Montreal Carabins are your 2025 USports Vanier Cup National Champions up in Canada. The IFL is teaming up with FanDuel Sports, and the first NFL team has been officially eliminated from the playoffs. But I'm not here all by myself. Across the internet from me, in another part of Kalamazoo, is my son Adam, who's breaking his studio as we speak.
Yeah, I went and smacked the microphone when I went to give my salute. Yeah, a little stuffy today. What happens when the weather changes here in Michigan.
Yeah.
A little colder. It's just that time of year.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Yeah, it seems like every year I go through some illness when the weather changes, and it's supposed to, we're looking at our first, well, not our first snow of the season, but more snow tomorrow, just in time for Thanksgiving travels.
Yeah, great. Yeah, my favorite thing. Hello to everybody that's in the live chat as of right now. Hello to Dale, I see you. And then hello there, real Lancaster City Dragon Rats. I'll say the whole thing every time. I try to. Good to see you guys. Thanks for popping in. Hopefully, not a super long show for you today. Not a whole lot of news this week, surprisingly. I mean, now that we've shed the CFL, that season's in the rearview mirror. Focusing on a lot of other stuff, and news is light before the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah. But we're still here, and we're going to have a show, and we're going to start off by saying not only do we have this weekly podcast, but we also make YouTube videos and YouTube content. We currently have over 700 videos on our YouTube channel, with the newest ones being our NFL picks video from last week, week 12, and your episode of Just Lying Around, episode 69, with your brother-in-law Kyle, about the Lions-Giants game. Oh man, that was a nail biter for Lions fans, I'll tell you.
We'll talk about that, I'm sure.
But we still got the win, so that was good. Let's see. So some upcoming videos we've got. Next week's episode 422 of this show. We've got our NFL picks for week 13, which I guess we're going to do tomorrow night, because Thursday is
Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, gonna have to do that a day earlier this week, and
not a day early. It's same time, same YouTube channel, 7:00 Wednesday night, doing the picks.
That's right. We do it on Wednesday night, don't we? I was thinking
just a little tighter for people because the first game's at 1:00 on Thursday. You don't have till Thursday night. You got till 1:00 on Thursday to get those in. That's why there's already a post in the community tab on the YouTube channel if you want to get your picks in early, just to be safe. So,
all right. And we do have an upcoming episode of Have Grave Will Travel about my trip to see Woody Hayes.
We haven't really talked about that one too much.
Yeah. Well, you said you were going to try and get it out before the Michigan-Ohio State game this Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that is this Saturday. I guess I know what I'm doing the next couple of days.
Is that not going to happen, or is that going to be a crunch for you?
I'm definitely going to need some reminding. So make sure.
Well, we'll see. There may or may not. It's either going to be just before the Michigan-Ohio State game or sometime after the Michigan-Ohio State game.
Now that you reminded me, I'll try to get it done before Saturday. But now we also have another episode of Inside the Arsenal coming this week. Right. Episode 2 of that. We are in the process of getting that all shaped up before Thanksgiving. Hopefully before Thanksgiving. We'll see how everything works out. It might be after Thanksgiving, just depending on schedules and timing and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, as the Arsenal get ready for tryouts in a few weeks. So
yeah,
exciting stuff.
Yep. All right. Well, let's
and Dale
begin.
points out in the chat, Randy, real fast that we've been doing this for 12 weeks. It's Wednesdays at 7. So
really? I didn't realize that. Okay. All right. Let's begin this. I guess it's a weekly show, isn't it? Maybe I'm not sure about that anymore either.
I mean, you've been doing a few of them for a while now.
8 years, and I still don't know what I'm doing. So let's begin our weekly tour around the world of football. And we're going to start off this week with Adam and the Week 12 scores in the NFL.
That's right, guys. Another wild weekend of NFL action where nothing makes sense. The points matter, but who's good, who's bad, it changes week to week. We start off with a game that not a whole lot of people saw coming as the Houston Texans defeated the Buffalo Bills 23-19.
Yeah,
if you watched our picks video last week, Aaron and I did pick the Texans. I don't know who else did, but
nobody on our picking group did. No, you were the only two.
All right, well, got that one right. That felt good. I don't know what's up with the Bills, man. Between the Bills, the Lions, the Chiefs, I mean, these teams that you just figure are going to be good. The Eagles, like the teams that you just can think you can almost bank on. Like, I don't know. Everything's weird this year. Yeah. But Dale, a resident Buffalo fan, well, my hometown team is probably frauds, like you like to say. I'm not going to say Buffalo's frauds. As long as you got Josh Allen, you got a chance, but you also need a defense. Yeah. And that defense couldn't even stop a backup quarterback from winning that game. So, all right. And so, yeah, I didn't really watch this game live. I saw a few plays. I watched the highlights the next morning. Man, Houston looks mighty good with Mills at quarterback and C.J. Stroud sitting on the bench. So,
yeah,
Houston needs to keep riding the hot hand. All right, I guess we're moving on. Randy's got nothing to say about that one.
I got nothing now.
All right. The Baltimore Ravens beat the New York Jets 23-10. Not really surprised there, but I do believe the Jets covered the spread. Good for them. The Chicago Bears somehow got a win against the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-28. The Bears now 8-3. I still don't know if I believe it. I mean, they beat everybody that's been in front of them. Well, 8 teams at least. There's 3 teams they didn't beat, obviously. I still can't buy into the Bears. Their big litmus test is this Friday during that Black Friday game.
Yeah.
If they can beat the Eagles, you know what? I will change my tune 100%, and I will legitimize them. But until then, I have not trusted this Eagles. I haven't trusted this Bears team at all. I'm just saying. But they got a win against the Steelers team with an injured Aaron Rodgers. I don't really know what to make much of that right now. The New England Patriots got a win against the Cincinnati Bengals 26-20. In a game that Dad and I watched with great interest, the Detroit Lions escaped the New York Giants 34-27 in overtime. And I'm sure Randy will want to dive into this game a little bit for a second because I haven't really talked to him about it. But the big thing from this game, on top of the fact that the Lions got the victory, is that this also eliminates the New York Giants from playoff contention.
Yep.
And they have now dropped, 4 games in the fourth quarter when they've been leading by 10 points. And they end up losing the game. And, the graphics been floating around of all the different games they've had 10-point leads or double-digit leads, and they just evaporate by the end of the game. And the Giants by no means are a bad team, I don't think. They just,
no.
They got players. They got some dudes. Jameis Winston balled out.
Yeah.
So good for him, but a couple of key mistakes, a couple of odd decisions, I think, led to Detroit being able to stay in this game. Otherwise, the Giants should have won this game if we're being frank.
Yeah, it was really looking like the Giants were gonna steal this one from Detroit. Detroit did not lead in regulation. They were able to tie it up at the end with a 59-yard field goal, which is a franchise record for Detroit. And you were there when that 66-yarder got kicked a few years ago. Was it 66?
Yep, that 66-yarder by Justin Tucker. Yep.
Okay, and so who was in the end zone this time for the 59-yard kick by Bates? Your brother Aaron was in the end zone.
Aaron was also there for that for the Justin Tucker kick too. So Aaron was there for all of those. Everything except for the Jake Bates UFL kick.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we rarely sit in the end zone. I mean, I've sat in the
Aaron
end zone
likes sitting in the end zone for
many
some
years.
reason.
When I was taking you guys as kids, we'd sit there because the seats were cheaper. But over the last couple of years, I'd much rather sit along the sideline somewhere. But yeah, you and him still sit in the end zone every now and then. I mean, it's great if the game is all in your end of the field. I think in the first half, every one of those scores on both teams were in that end zone where Aaron was at. So it was great for him, at least in the first half, to be able to see all those great touchdowns in that end zone. So he was right there for all that. But yeah, for the most part, I really don't like sitting in the end zone anymore.
Yeah. Luckily for the Lions, we have a man in the backfield named Jahmyr Gibbs, as Dale points out. Gibbs is your man. He's your superstar on your Detroit Lions there, guys. If it weren't for him, we would have had a shot in this game. Offensive line needed some work. Goff didn't look great. Amon-Ra eventually got going. Amon-Ra didn't start off great.
Yeah, he had some problems.
Ever since he did the Trump dance, he's been having some issues. So
well, I wouldn't.
That's what the internet likes to point out.
But something is going on with him. I don't know if the defenses are playing him tighter or what. But yeah, he's not been as consistent as he has been in the past, which is alarming. And where was Jameson Williams all game long? I think they threw to him once that I recall.
Targeted 3 times, I believe he was targeted.
Man, did he even catch one? I don't know if he even caught one.
He didn't have a catch. Tesla didn't have a catch.
Yeah.
So
they were only going
to everybody a little more involved.
Yeah. But you got to get that ball around. Tesla is a budding superstar. You got to get him involved. You got to make his presence known. Why Jameson Williams didn't get any catches is beyond me. I mean, he's electric when he does catch them. So, man,
he had one thrown to him that I thought was a first down, but he ended up having the ball knocked out of his hands. So I don't know. They're trying. I mean, today was the Lions are fortunate to where they could go a game, and it's somebody's game. Yesterday was a Gibbs game. Thanksgiving might be a Montgomery game. Maybe it's an Amon-Ra game. Maybe it's a Jake Bates game. I don't know. But all I know is Detroit's got a lot of work to do in a few short days to prepare for this side, those Green Bay Packers up there. And they did announce that the Lions are wearing the throwbacks. So that's pretty exciting. I just don't have one. I'm so upset because I don't have one of the throwback helmets. I know all you got to do is strip off all the stuff pretty much. I don't want to do that to a brand new helmet.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever sold the throwback, just a solid silver helmet with nothing on it.
You got to buy a custom one from somebody, but I haven't done that. But it should be fun. Anyway, anything else about the Lions before we move on to the other games?
No, it was those 2 big runs by Gibbs towards the end. What was it, 49 yards or 42 yards and 69 yards in overtime? Yeah, he was the whole offense there, and if not for him, we'd be looking at a loss right now.
And that also led to the Giants firing their defensive coordinator yesterday morning. So just because Gibbs had 2, what was it? They said Gibbs was averaging almost 15 yards a carry because he had 200-something rushing yard, 219 rushing yards on 15 carries, something crazy like that. Then he had 11 catches.
Yeah.
For another touchdown. So he had 3 touchdowns all game, and he's a couple of touchdowns now away from Barry Sanders for that record before turning the age of 24. So Gibbs is going to break that by the end of the year.
Didn't I hear that he was just a few yards shy in this game? He had 260 some yards. He's only a couple yards short of Barry Sanders' team record for a single game.
Something I forget. There's a lot of stats getting thrown around. So all right, we're going to continue on. The Green Bay Packers, who we'll see on Thanksgiving against our Lions, took care of Royce's Minnesota Vikings 23-6. I don't know what to make of the Vikings. I don't know what to make of J.J. McCarthy. And I don't even know what to make of the Packers. The Packers, while, they got the win, I still can't make heads or tails of these teams. Yeah. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Indianapolis Colts 23-20. I believe that game also went to overtime. The Chiefs scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. So the Chiefs finding a way to get back and win. Another game I picked. I actually started off 8-0 with picks this week, so I was pretty happy about that.
You did all the games up till the 1 o'clock, the end of the 1 o'clock games. You were perfect. You were 8-0.
Oh, thank you. You're perfect sometimes. Let's see. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Tennessee Titans 30-24. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Arizona Cardinals 27-24, though it was looking scary there for a while. I thought the Cardinals might upset them. Then Shedeur Sanders becomes the first rookie quarterback in the Browns history, well, at least since 1995, to get the win in their first start. Shedeur leads the Browns 24-10 victory over the Raiders, and I'm pretty sure that broadcast flipped back to Deion Sanders more than if Taylor Swift had been in the building. So,
I think you're probably
right. I know I'm right. I'm sure somebody can find the stats to back that up. But no, so look, Shedeur got his first win. Shedeur looked okay. The couple big highlights, that everybody's screaming about. He did have one really nice 50-yard pass. I said that's like the first 50-yard pass that the Browns have had in like 20 years. Maybe it's not 20 years, but it's been a long time since a Browns quarterback completed a 50-yard pass. That was a nice play. That's his one. The second nice play that everybody was talking about was a little screen pass he dumped off that the guy took to the house. So I think a lot of people like to call that acing the assignment when you did none of the work. The rest of your team or the rest of your classmates did the project for you.
Yep.
So, look, whatever. I think Shedeur is supposed to get the start for the next game. That'll be a real test against that 49ers defense. And we'll see. I am not going to write Shedeur off, and I'm not going to send him flowers either. And we'll see what he does. I've tried not to be a hater. I'm not a fan of his attitude, and definitely some of the stuff after the game he was saying. I'm just like, dude, like, little more humility would go a long way for this kid. But man, he is just so full of himself that I can't root for Shedeur. It's hard to root for Shedeur.
I don't know if I'm rooting for him or not, but I did say that the Browns would win that game just because it was Shedeur's first, and something about him making his first start. I just thought, he's going to win this game regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, he could end up being a good talent. We'll see. I'm not going to write that out. I don't know. I would just like him to be a little more humble, I guess. I don't know. Easy for a guy in the basement of his house to say, hey, be humble, Mr. Millionaire. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Real Lancaster City Dragon Rats in the chat. He plays for the Browns. The humility will reach him one way or another.
Oh, that's good. That's a good insight.
Yeah. And nobody should pick the Raiders to win another game this year, says Dale. The Raiders are a hot mess. That is a factual statement. I think starting quarterback for the Raiders, Geno Smith, flipped off his own fans after the game. So that's another hot topic there. Oh, yeah. So all's well in Las Vegas. With that.
I still want to go see that stadium sometime.
Same. I'm hoping the Lions go out there. I would love to go to a game. Last question before we move on. What do you think of the Browns rocking the white helmet with the orange pants?
It was weird. I didn't watch the game, and when I'm watching the highlights, I'm going, who the heck's that? Who's wearing white uniforms and white helmets? And it took me a few minutes to realize, oh my God, that's the Browns.
Yeah. First time they've ever done that uniform combination. It looked a little odd. I didn't hate it, I guess. I do like their white helmet, but I like it when they're wearing their other jersey or their whole uniform combo. But it is what it is. Let's see. Moving on. The Dallas Cowboys came back to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 24-21. That's right. The Cowboys scored 24 unanswered points after being down 21-0 in this game to get a big win there against their division rival, the Super Bowl champs. Eagles looked very convincing there for a while, and I hear your cell phone buzzing over there.
Yeah.
Who's calling you this time?
Yeah, that game was a bit of a surprise. I fully expected the Eagles defense to keep the Dallas offense in check, but to give up 24 unanswered points late in the game like that, it was a big surprise. So good for Dallas, I guess. I wouldn't have picked them.
Lancaster City Dragon Rats must be an Eagles fan. He said he felt like a fool watching the Eagles get their feathers plucked out in front of his eyes. He said that comeback hurt a lot. I'm sure it did. I didn't see that coming. You have a three touchdown lead
Yeah.
And you blow it. Where was that against Detroit?
I've been saying that the Philadelphia offense is trash. Their defense is what's keeping them in games, but they obviously let them down at the end of that game. The offense couldn't do anything to score some points.
It sounded like they got everything working. They were connecting with AJ Brown. Hurts was looking great. Saquon doing his thing, and then just Dak magic. Is Dak the Eagles' kryptonite? I think they said Dak is he's only lost 2 games against his division rivals in their state, like something crazy like that. I forget the exact stat, but I don't know what it is. Dak just turned it to a whole new level, and the Cowboys were able to get that win. So good for them. Dale agrees with you, Randy. They are trash, the offense, but it shouldn't be that way. They've got Barkley, Brown, and Smith as 2 wide receivers. Yeah, they got a lot of talent. Yep. And Lancaster says, well, I opened my mouth last Wednesday during the live show, and it came back to haunt me. And I was so happy when it was 24-3. Then all of a sudden, 27-24 the wrong way.
How quickly things change in the NFL.
Right. But anyway, we'll move on from that one. Yeah. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Saints 24-10. Sunday Night Football saw the Rams take care of the Buccaneers 34-7. Are the Rams the best team in the NFL? It's looking like it.
I kind of think so. Yeah.
I think Matt Stafford saying, "Look, I want my last Super Bowl, and I'm retiring. Yeah. We're doing this year." He seems like that's what the mission is this year.
He is a man on a mission. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and for the Buccaneers, I know Baker went down with an injury during this game, so that sucks for them. Don't know how long he'll be out. It's his non-throwing shoulder, I want to say. So we'll see how that changes moving forward. And then last night on Monday Night Football, I didn't watch any of this game because I was like, I don't care about this matchup. The 49ers did take care of the Carolina Panthers 20-9. I saw all the turnovers, and then I saw the fight after the game where a dude punched another dude straight in the nuts. That's led to a suspension, I do believe, a little while ago. Yep, the NFL suspended Panthers safety Trevon Moehrig 1 game for striking 49ers wide receiver Juwan Jennings in the groin area Monday night. Guys, ESPN, you can just say it. Punched him in the dick. All right, you can say it. We all saw it. That's what happened.
I didn't see. I saw some of the fight on highlights, on social media. I didn't see where he punched him. I saw a lot of face,
right below the
face
belt,
punching and shoving in the face, but I didn't see that. But
family jewels.
What's going on with these players lately? I mean, Lions player does that, and it's like the 3rd incident in the last couple of weeks where somebody has like punched somebody or whatever, just a blatant unsportsmanlike.
Okay, well, I'll explain it in a second, but I think we have the comment of the year right now, Randy, and I'm going to put it up on screen from Lancaster City Dragon Rats. He was given in the business, like some refs used to say. I like that one. Comment of the year right there. He was given
the business in the business.
Oh yeah, it was great. But no, I don't know what. Okay, I really don't know what the deal is. But yeah, it's been a lot lately. Guys fighting, spitting on each other.
Yeah,
it's been absolutely wild. It's like these players don't know that there's I don't know, high definition cameras all around, and don't forget people all over the stadium with little cellular devices, global telecommunication devices in their pocket that they can film that stuff too. Like, what do you think you're getting away with? Like, it's utterly ridiculous. But, these fines or whatever these guys are losing means nothing to a lot of these guys. They're already making millions of dollars. So what's one game check? I'm sure. Yeah. We'll see if this keeps going. The NFL might have to start giving them some more, and pardon my phrase, stiffer punishments. So, Yep. So, all right. And that should be it for the NFL schedule. Denver, the Los Angeles Chargers, Dolphins, and Commanders were on byes this week. Trying to think if there's any other big stories. Nothing I can really think of, but I think we kind of touched on a lot of it. Oh, and the Raiders did fire Chip Kelly, their offensive coordinator, as well. I forgot to mention that. So that should be all of our NFL stuff, unless anybody in the chat's got anything. That is my piece, and I would like to take a break from talking.
Yeah, you stop talking. You've been talking long enough. I'll do some talking now. I got my Mountain Dew here. My voice feels good. Let's go on to some college scores, and we're going to start with the top 25. Number 1 Ohio State over Rutgers 42-9. It was Indiana not playing, so they didn't lose. Texas A&M shut out FCS Samford 48-0. Why are these top 10 teams playing FCS teams this late in the season? Normally you get them done early in the season, and then the rest of the year is all your opponents of equal stature. All of a sudden, here you got Texas A&M, number 3 in the country, beating up on an FCS team. That makes no sense.
Well, you got to have another, like you. It's like taking a little easier of a time, Randy. It's like a mini bye week to prepare for the bigger opponents, and the playoff push and all that. I'm sure it's strategic.
Yeah, well, I don't like it. If you're going to beat up on somebody, do it like Notre Dame did. Beat up on Syracuse. They're a big name team. 70-7 was Notre Dame over Syracuse. So I mean, if you're gonna make somebody look bad, that's the way to do it. Not an FCS team.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought that was the message.
Yeah. Let's see. Number 10, Alabama shut out Eastern Illinois 56-0. I had to look them up because I thought they were an FCS team at first, Eastern Illinois, but they're not. Let's see. Pittsburgh upset number 16 Georgia Tech 42-28. Wisconsin upset Illinois. Yeah, I guess so. Wisconsin upset number 21 Illinois 27-10, and TCU upset number 23 Houston 17-14. Moving on to some other scores at the FBS level. For the second Tuesday in a row, our Western Michigan Broncos played, and this time they defeated Northern Illinois in Illinois 35-19. And as it turns out, this is the last game that the Huskies are ever going to play as a member of the MAC, the Mid-America Conference, because they are moving to the Mountain West Conference next year. That makes no sense to me, but I guess they've got a better deal going on out there. So the MAC is losing a school, and that I'll tell you what, the Northern Illinois Huskies have been a thorn in Western Michigan's side for many, many years. I mean, no matter how well Western Michigan plays, they might be the top team in the MAC, and they go in and Northern Illinois is not very good. We lose to Northern Illinois. So I'm glad we at least got a chance to beat them on their last game in the MAC.
Yeah. Hey, money talks. I mean, we talked about that story earlier this year when they made that decision to jump conferences. So who knows? Maybe eventually it'll be one of those things where the Mid-American Conference doesn't even exist, and Western Michigan, all these MAC schools end up becoming the bottom tier teams of these bigger conferences just to pad out those rosters. So
who knows? I'd hate to see that, but
yeah, just like how Dale said in the chat, this is why I told you guys in the past, I'm not a big fan of college football. I don't understand it. We've talked about it, and that's why I'll never watch it. It does get confusing. Northern Illinois has made some very odd moves, says Lancaster City Dragon Rats, over the past 50 years. So they were once in the Big West, and they made the move back to the MAC, I think, around the mid-'80s. So, yeah, college football, we were talking even before we got on air about some of the confusion around college football, like the different number of games teams play, and just like, the scheduling, these other opponents. It's just, it's a little bit of a head scratcher. It's definitely why, I can't, I love college football, but it's elements like that make me go, I can't be a college football, drum banger. That's why people at work, when they say, what team do I root for? I just say the Lions. They're like, well, are you Michigan State? I'm like, neither. I just root for all of them because I don't have that, ingrained in me. I don't think I could be a Michigan fan, even if I wanted to be.
We've been to Michigan Stadium. We've been to Michigan State. We've seen both on their home turfs. I still like going to Western Michigan. You're not paying hundreds of dollars for a ticket, and you're not packed in with 100,000 other people at a Western Michigan game. You can still have a good time and see them beat up on an FCS team, but early in the season, like you're supposed to. But yeah, I mean, I just prefer following my home team. All right. Let's move on to some other FCS scores. Auburn over FCS Mercer 62-17. I'm not going to get into that again. UTSA over East Carolina 58-24. North Texas over Rice 56-24. Wake Forest over Delaware 52-14, and South Carolina over Coastal Carolina 51-7. In the military academies, it was Tulsa over Army 26-25 in a squeaker. It was New Mexico over Air Force 20-3, and Navy did not play this week. So you still got your top 3 teams in the country are all undefeated at this point, and that hasn't changed for the last several weeks. Seems like just a few weeks ago we had 8 different teams that were all undefeated. And now for the last 3 weeks, it's been these 3 teams. And will they all 3 go undefeated by the end of the season? Don't know.
Well, we'll see if Indiana and Ohio State play each other for that Big Ten championship. One of them is going to lose. So
yeah, but that would be.
But Ohio State's got to get through Michigan this week, or they got to get over that bugaboo this weekend. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So moving to the FCS level now, the 161st edition of Lehigh versus Lafayette was played in Lehigh, and it was Lehigh coming out as the victors, 42-32. And in the Ivy League, it was the 141st edition of the game, the original game. A lot of people like to talk about Michigan, Ohio State as the game. Well, Harvard and Yale was the game before Michigan State took on that moniker. So 141st Harvard-Yale game at the Yale Bowl, Yale 45, Harvard 28. But ironically, both of these teams are moving on to the playoffs, and this is something that the Ivy League has never done before. They have never participated in the FCS playoffs until this year. And so now you've got Harvard and Yale making the FCS playoffs for the first time ever. I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to be following those 2 teams in the FCS playoffs. You know, if you're not a big college football fan, maybe you should look at some of these lower levels, you know, the FCS where you've got the Ivy League and the Division II. You know, look around where you live and see, is there a Division II, a Division III team, an NAIA team? That's who you should be following, because the big boys, there's nothing there anymore. There's just not a whole lot to cheer for. It's all corporate sponsored everything. All right, that was my spiel.
As a man who doesn't have a big school that's going to win a national championship.
Moving on to Division II, their first round of the playoffs was last week. It was Ferris State over Northwood, 65-14. It was the University of Indianapolis over Truman State, 57-14. Kutztown shut out Bentley, 52-0. And Pittsburgh State out of Kansas, known as the Gorillas, I love that team, over Chadron, 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 not Chadron. I'm thinking it's going to be Chadron. Chadron State, 20-17. Division III is also having their first round of the playoffs last weekend. It was Wheaton of Illinois over Crown of Minnesota, 76-14. Coe over Concordia of Wisconsin, 44-7. Susquehanna over Washington and Jefferson, 38-32. And LaGrange over Framingham. I thought it was Farmingham, but I looked at it. It's F-R-A-M. Framingham, I think is how you pronounce that. Framingham State, 24-21.
All right, real quick, we have a chat. Lancaster Dragon Rats. Franklin and Marshall College are in the D3 playoffs for the first time ever, and its first playoff game in their 130-some year history. That's cool.
There's a guy that gets it. You know, it's not all Michigan and Ohio State and Notre Dame and USC, UCLA. A lot of good.
You hear that, real Lancaster? Randy likes you. He says you get it.
I'm giving you 2 thumbs up.
Whoa, 2 thumbs up. There you go.
There you go. I've never given Adam 2 thumbs up. I've given him 2 thumbs down before.
Two middle fingers before, but not 2 thumbs up.
All right, moving on to the NAIA playoffs. Also the first round last week. St. Francis of Indiana over Evangel. Evidently, it's an evangelical college, but it's called Evangel of Missouri. St. Francis came out on top 13-12 in that game. It was William Penn of Iowa over Texas Wesleyan, 38-9. Carroll College of Montana over St. Thomas of Florida, 42-35. And finally, Southeastern out of Florida over Reinhardt of Georgia, 24-21. In the
22.
I'm sorry, 22. Yep. And then you've got your junior college football scores. It's kind of weird. The community college level of college football, they have something that kind of resembles playoffs, but they do more bowl games and they do have a championship game. So it's kind of like a little mix of everything. But there was at least one score I was going to report that was like, I guess it was the end of the regular season. So it was Iowa Western over Highland, 64-13. I haven't seen the schedule yet. Normally they have several bowl games that they play around the country, and I like to give some time to those, but I haven't seen those yet on their website. So hopefully we'll have more next week from the NJCAA. But we do know that the Division I and Division II conference game dates are set and locations. The Division I championship game is going to be in Canyon, Texas on December 17th. And the Division III championship game is going to be in Glen Ellen, Illinois on December 6th. So at least we do know.
That doesn't make any sense because December 6th is like not that far away. That's like next week.
Yeah. It
okay.
does.
I just wanted to make sure that wasn't a typo because I was like, that's weird.
Nope. And it's funny because the junior college level, they have two divisions, Division I and Division III. Why is there no Division II? I don't know, but they have a Division I, Division III. All right. And finally, in college football, USports up in Canada, their version of the NCAA, it was the 60th annual Vanier Cup at Mosaic Stadium in Regina, home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, your current CFL champion. And there was a game between the Montreal Carabins and the Saskatchewan Huskies, kind of like the Grey Cup game, Saskatchewan versus Montreal. And in this case, it was the Montreal Carabins that came out on top by the score of 30-16. This was the third national championship for Montreal in their school history. So congratulations, Montreal Carabins. And college football is finally done up in Canada for this year.
Yeah, and if you're a Montreal Alouettes fan, rejoice. You had a team that did win a game against Saskatchewan in the past week. So,
and it was for a championship. So
it was for a championship. There you go.
Yeah.
Not all frowns up there in Canada. Come on.
That's right. All right. So I guess that's going to lead us into the X League from Japan. You got that video all lined up there, Adam?
Oh, yeah. Let me just get this thing queued up as we are about to toss it over to our man in Japan, our buddy, Greg St. James, who's going to give us the lowdown on what's been happening in Japan.
And now we're off across the Pacific, where our man in Japan, Greg St. James, has all the news from the land of the rising sun.
Hey, everybody, it's Greg St. James here from Gridiron Japan for the World of Football over there in Kalamazoo, Michigan, the scoreboard report that I do every week here for Randy and Adam for their show. So going to be talking X1 Super, X League X1 Super quarterfinals here that took place this past weekend. And we had some expected results, but we also had an upset. So let's get right into it. First game, we had the Obik Seagulls winning 10-7 over the Elecom Fineys. Elecom almost won this game, so was a little surprising to see. I don't know if it was Obik, if Elecom was tougher than Obik thought, or I don't know. But definitely the score definitely couldn't have gone the other way. But 10-7 win Obik over Elecom. The next game up, we had Fujitsu winning 42-28 over the Nojima Rise. And if you've listened to the scoreboard here previously, you will know that Nojima previously beat Fujitsu. And so the Fujitsu that I expected showed up, and I think all of us, everybody on the show expected to show up, including our good friend, former co-host of the podcast and current defensive coach for Fujitsu. He expected this result too, being the coach of the team. So the Fujitsu that we all know and love and many teams despise because they're the constant winner around here, showed up and won 42-28 over the Nojima Rise. Next up, we had the defending champions, the Panasonic Impulse, winning easily 52-14 over IBM Big Blue. No surprise there. And then lastly, we had the upset of the day. The Challengers lost against Tokyo Gas 16-13. So that was a big surprise. Needless to say, none of us saw that one coming. We expected, I think all of us expected the Challengers and Obik to be squaring off in the semifinals here. But no, instead it is going to be OBIC versus Tokyo Gas in the semifinal, and the one semifinal matchup, and then we had the perennial Rice Bowl matchup going on in the semifinals between Panasonic and Fujitsu. So 2 weeks from now, we will know at this time what two teams are going to the Rice Bowl. And as I said previously in another podcast, in the last podcast, I should say, that we're going to have a new Rice Bowl matchup this year. So either the winner of the Fujitsu Panasonic game going up against the winner of the OPIC Tokyo Gas game. And with that said, you know what? We can't write Tokyo Gas off against OBIC. I'm hopeful it's going to be a very, very close game. Same with Panasonic versus Fujitsu, because nobody likes a blowout, which is going on right now in the NFL with Sunday Night Football. If you're watching the video, you can see I am wearing my Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey. Buccaneers sweatshirt. And Tampa Bay's getting blown up by the Rams, so I'm doing the scoreboard a bit early because I have Baker Mayfield on my leading my fantasy football team, but I'm losing bad, both in fantasy football and rooting for the Buccaneers. So, all right. Well, listen, hey, with all that said, if you are interested in learning more about the gridiron game in Japan, please check us out at gridironjapan.jp. Our last podcast episode was covering the history of the gridiron game here, going back way back when. Was a special podcast episode that we did with in conjunction with the Football Odyssey podcast, Aaron Harris's great podcast that kind of was the brain, kind of helped inspire us to do this podcast to cover American football in Japan. And shout out to Aaron. He did a great job. So if you've not listened to that podcast and you want to learn more about the history of the game, please check it out. And moving into 2026, we are going to be doing some more podcasts regarding the history of the teams here in Japan, not just the evolution of football itself, but trying to go into the individual history of teams in the X League and also hopefully at the college level. So, all right, guys. Hey, Adam, Randy, great talking to you guys. Great being part of the show here. And we will talk to you next week with scores from X1 area. And hopefully we'll have playoff pairings there as well. Talk about what's going on with X1 area as they wrap up their season. So, all right. With all that said, guys, take care. Go Lions. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks again, Greg, for popping in and giving us the lowdown on what's happening in Japan.
Yeah, evidently he didn't get the memo about no fantasy football talk.
I was going to say
on our show. I'll have
you can send him the the angry memo. I'll let you do that. He will probably do double down next time. If you say something.
Yeah, probably.
All right, for the first, before we transition, I do want to say I know we've had Greg pop in on the show and do a lot of the catching us up on what's happening in Japan. This is the first time I think I've ever seen a comment about it, other than people saying, "Hey, good job, Greg. Good to see Greg." Real Lancaster City Dragon Rat said the Panasonic Tokyo Gas is a surprising Rice Bowl matchup, but will be Panasonic in a blowout if it gets that far. That might be our first ever X League comment on one of our videos. So Lancaster City Dragon Rats just earning all the points today.
Yeah, don't start thinking it's your show. All right, let's move on.
Hold on. After you gave him 2 thumbs up, after I gave him comment of the year, you just shoot him down like that. Come on, Randy.
Well, I don't want him to get a swelled head,
Oh.
All right, moving on. Some news out of the European League of Football. The Stuttgart Surge announced last week that they are going to be they're last year's champs in the ELF. Put it that way first. They have filed for bankruptcy, mainly because they're uncertain about the new European Football Alliance. I can't remember if they said that they were going to be part of that or not. I don't remember if they were one of the teams, but
I can't remember.
it's kind of a quagmire over there in Europe. Is this new league gonna take over? A lot of teams are jumping to that, and I guess the Surge just didn't like what they saw, and it was going to be harder for them to make money and whatever. So yeah, they put out the statement that you can see. It's in German and it's in English. So if you don't read English, you can just read the top part. But yeah, they're the defending champions are not going to play this year, and who knows if they'll ever come back again.
I don't know. This whole situation between the ELF, the EFA, I don't know. It's a lot of, I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that I don't know what's happening. There's not been a lot out there about, this EFA. I can't find a social media account for them. But then you have all these teams saying that they're a part of this league. But then you have the ELF who still also posted stuff as if these teams are in the, I don't know. I can't keep track of it. I guess I'm going to wait till we get a little closer to see what the heck, is going on, because I'm confused.
Yeah.
And this doesn't help. Losing a champion team like this, one way or the other, sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. So my first question is are we going to see more and more teams say, you know what? Yeah, we don't know what's going on, and so we're just not going to put together a team next year. Is this just the first of many to go by the wayside in Europe?
And is this a cautionary tale for all these people who think that the NFL could just throw a division out there in Europe and people are going to care? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. We do have some news from the Indoor Football League. FanDuel Sports Network is going to broadcast 60 IFL games in 2026, including the Western Conference Championship game and the IFL Championship game. They're also going to be producing a show called Sunday Night Indoor Football. So you're going to be getting regular indoor action on FanDuel Sportsnet. I want to ask the question: Has anybody seen this FanDuel Sportsnet? I know they've got an app. You can watch these games on your app. Is it out? I've heard of it, maybe, but I know what FanDuel is, but I've never seen any of their sports stuff. Is this something they created just for this, or has this been around?
Isn't your girl Annie Agar part of FanDuel Sports Network? Used to be Bally Sports. I don't know. I thought she was a part of that. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't. From what I've kind of took it, it's kind of like the old Fox Sports Detroit. You know how we had Fox Sports networks and like all these different regions. It's kind of like that.
That became Bally Sports. I know that.
Yeah. But like it's kind of like that, I think. I could be wrong. I don't know 100%. But I've never watched a single FanDuel thing. I think I've seen them when we go out to restaurants and stuff. They'll have it on the TV. It is the former Bally Sports. Okay, Dale in the chat. It is the former Bally Sports. It was bought up by FanDuel, which is a gambling site. Yeah, so I use FanDuel when I bet.
Didn't know that.
Okay, yeah. So it's essentially, so like your girl Annie Agar does stuff for FanDuel. I'll see the Wingo, or not Wingo, the Golick father-son tandem, probably the top tier father-son football talkers on the internet, and then we're right here. So we're the second father-son football tandem on the internet.
That much below, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. I think it's a great partnership. There's a lot of questions, I think. So Off the Wall also confirming turned into FanDuel Sports Network. Also, he says, howdy, fellas. Show us your nets. And yeah, we're talking. It's funny. We're talking indoor football, but they don't play with the net.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think this will be an interesting partnership. I think it's a good step for the league, who didn't really have much like national exposure outside of the IFL National Championship game on CBS Sportsnet.
Right.
But then the question becomes, and I know Trey covered it. I think he covered it a little bit on his show, and I see him on the socials asking questions, and I just don't know at the end of the day if you got your 60 games, so then you got a bunch of other stuff happening. Oh, he says in the chat, early 2026 there will be more clarity on how people can view. So still waiting on that. Thank you, Trey, for that. But
after the having their games behind a paywall last year, hopefully this is not going to be behind a paywall.
Well, I don't think obviously you'll have to pay for whatever FanDuel Sports Network is, however you get that. But then I would assume, do those games then end up landing in the IFL Network app so you can watch the games later? Then do you get a discounted price on the IFL Network, or do they make that for free next year? I don't know. more info to come, I guess. But my initial gut reaction to hearing this partnership is, I'll give it thumbs up. I'll give it thumbs up for now. The league has clearly been strategic and purposeful with and I've heard Todd Tryon talk about this, the commissioner. Like, they have purposely made steps towards getting this type of exposure, setting up to get to this point. And I'm sure then there's a plan after this. Yeah. So we'll have to just wait and see. The IFL is doing a lot of good stuff. That's why they are the top tier inside football league. As much as we're AF1 homers, but IFL is doing a lot right.
Well, I will say, FanDuel is a major name in sports and betting right now. So, I mean, that's a major signing when the IFL can hook up with FanDuel to broadcast their games. I mean, that's big.
And if you could get Annie Agar to talk IFL football, the internet might just break.
Is she going to be a sideline reporter at
no. You get her on the broadcast as a color commentator. Otherwise, what are we doing? Annie's got to be calling games. Who's with me?
Well, as long as she's rooting for one team and her brother is rooting for the other team, that's TV I would watch.
Well, she's a Packers fan, so she might have some Blizzard Alliance. I'm just throwing it out there. It's right there. Trey in the chat, a majority of the games. Sorry, I'm going to read it so you can't see me behind Trey's comment. Okay. It's a long one. A majority of the games probably won't be paywalled in 2026. There's another streaming partner to be announced for the other half of the season. Think of it like Fox and CBS for NFL games. Ooh, because you did mention that they only had the Western Conference. So what service is getting the Eastern Championship? Which, by the way, last night on the Turf Tapes, Trey watched the IFL's Eastern Conference Championship game on his stream, right? I believe it was the Eastern Conference because it was Steam Wheelers versus Blizzard. Yeah. I was able to catch the end of that stream. So also his first IFL stream too. That was pretty cool. So
I did catch a little bit of it here and there. I kept kind of going back and forth, and I assumed
did you leave him a comment?
No, I did not.
Randy? You can't hold on. He's kind enough to come in here and give us all this juicy info and comments.
I know
on our streams. Randy, you have to go onto his. This is like Streamer 101. He scratches our back. We scratch his. Is this just because he didn't give you $100 in his little package he sent you?
No, that's got nothing to do with it.
I think that's exactly what's happening. Trey, I apologize for him.
No, I just when I caught it, it was somewhere at some point during the game. It was like a half hour into it, so I wasn't sure. It looked like it was a fairly recent game. I don't know if it was like last year's Eastern Conference game or 2 years ago or whatever. So that was what I was going to ask, but I thought, well, that's not a question I should be asking at this point. So I didn't bother asking.
Shaking my head. Can't even get a comment from Randy right when you think you know a guy. See, look at that. Just burning bridges left and right, Randy. Good Lord.
I said I'm sorry. What more can I say? All right.
Leave him a comment.
Let's get off this subject because I'm getting beat up over this. So let's move on to today's birthdays and anniversaries for November 25th. Man, there's a slew of birthdays today when I was going through my spreadsheet of whose birthday is it today. And we're going to start out with wide receiver Chris Carter. Turns 60 years old today. Played his college football at Ohio State. Selected in the 4th round of the 87 NFL supplemental draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. Played for the Eagles in 87 through 89. The Vikings from 90 to 2002. And he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2013. Another Hall of Famer, Coach Joe Gibbs, turns 85 today. Head coach of the Washington Redskins from 81 to 92, and again from 2004 to 2007. Won 3 Super Bowls with the team and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1996. And at first, when I saw the end date and the start date, I didn't realize there was a gap in there. So, he was already done as a coach. Then they put him in the Hall of Fame. Then he came back and coached the team again. So that was a little weird. Let's see. Who else we got? Running back Lenny Moore turns 92 years old today, played his football at Penn State. He was the 9th overall pick in the 1956 NFL draft by the Baltimore Colts. Played for the Colts from 1956 to 1967. Won 2 NFL titles with the Colts. The 1958 game, the greatest game ever played, and the 1959 game. And he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1975. So there's 3 Hall of Famers all born today. We got 2 more. Quarterback Bernie Kosar turns 62 years old today. Played his college football at Miami of Florida. And if I'm not mistaken, he was on the losing end of the Doug Flutie Hail Mary pass from Boston College. I think that was him in the on the other side of the field, thinking he'd had the game won. But that Flutie magic came around and bit him. Let's see. He was the first overall pick in the 1985 NFL supplemental draft again by the Cleveland Browns. He played for the Browns from 85 to 93, got traded to the Cowboys during the 93 season and finished the season there. He won Super Bowl 28 as a backup to Troy Aikman. I did not know that. And he finished his playing career with the Dolphins in 94 through 96. And finally, quarterback Donovan McNabb turns 49 years old today. Played his college football at Syracuse. Second overall pick in the 99 NFL draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. Played for the Eagles from 99 to 2009, the Redskins in 2010, and the Vikings in 2011. And we do have one obituary to talk about today. Guy by the name of Randy Berkey, a wide receiver in the NFL and the USFL, has passed away at the age of 70. Berkey played college football at Kentucky and was the 26th overall pick in the 1977 NFL draft by the Baltimore Colts. He played for the Colts from 1978 to 81, and he finished his playing career in the USFL with the Washington Federals in 1984. Our upcoming events calendar is getting pretty short between here and the end of the year. Saturday, November 29th, it's the 121st Michigan-Ohio State game. That's this weekend.
It's this weekend.
At Michigan Stadium. So, boy, you think that crowd's going to be excited for that game? You betcha. Let's see. Sunday, December 8th, it's the Monsters Fun Day Football, Monday Night Football game where characters from Monsters University are going to be taken over, Monsters Incorporated, in the Monday night game between the Eagles and the Chargers. That should be a lot of fun. Those are always really good. The animation and doing it in real time and all that, that is something else. It's really cool. And let's see. Saturday, December 13th, to end the college football regular season, it's always the Army-Navy game. And this year's edition is the 126th edition. This is going to be played at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. That's on my bucket list to go to an Army-Navy game someday. We shall see. All right. That's it for our agenda. Anything that you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
Not really. We've been kind of waiting that International Arena League. They kind of released a documentary last week, and then they're supposed to be announcing their teams this afternoon. So keeping an eye out for that. We're still a little skeptical about them, so that's why we haven't talked about it. Maybe with a little more info, maybe we'll talk about that in the near future, but we'll see about that. Otherwise, I ain't got a whole lot of nothing. Turkey Day is right around the corner. As Dale says in the chat, happy Turkey Day to everybody if you're not going to be on our pick show on Wednesday night at 7. If you guys want, check us out tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for that stream. Should be a lot of fun. Talking Turkey Day football. That's all I got.
And Black Friday football and Sunday night football, Monday night football.
It's going to be a slew of great stuff. Between the Thanksgiving games, Black Friday game, all the college games, then the Michigan Ohio State game is a big one.
Right.
Sunday, all the games. Monday, we have got nothing but awesome stuff in the football world.
Yep. It's the weekend that the wives dread coming.
Oh yeah. We'll just wait till Christmas because now the Lions play on Christmas this year too. So my wife is not terribly happy about that either.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the time we've got for this week, folks. Don't forget to check out our World of Football merchandise at teepublic.com. That's teepublic.com for the latest in football-related T-shirts, hats, mugs, and more from our merch store, like the one Adam's wearing. Show us your nets.
Yeah. Because it's not arena football if it doesn't have the nets. Then you play indoor football.
Yep. So. And remember, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody, and I mean nobody, loves more football than the two of us schmucks sitting here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, talking about all things football. Join us again next week when we'll try and do a better job. Yeah, right. Until then, I'm Randy Snow.
And I'm Adam Snow.
And we'll see you all next week.
Thanks again for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football. New episodes of the show are posted every Tuesday and can be found wherever good podcasts are available. You can find the World of Football on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads by searching for TWOF Kalamazoo or using the links in the episode description below. Be sure to subscribe to the World of Football on YouTube for more great football-related content. Just search for the World of Football Kalamazoo or use the handle @TheWorldOfFootball to find us. Remember, every like, comment, and subscription really does help us out, and we appreciate you for that support. We hope to see you again next time.